Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua Ba'Shem Adavach Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles and great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, I had posted a post with a few explanations and stuff like that concerning the flag of Sardinia and why it went from this to this one too, this one also, but to this. So it went from this one with the earring to this one without the earring, and now they're facing right and they have their blindfolded lifted up from their eyes. And the same thing with Corsica. Corsica had it too. It was here and you had the earrings. Sorry, I didn't click on it. This one is good too. It had this one, 1755, and it faced the left. And you can clearly see that this is what they call Moorhead, right? And the other one, you can clearly see that it is an Edomite. Well, it used to be a Moorhead itself also. And then an Edomite, look at the lips, portraying, or did I use that correctly? Portraying, something like that. It's poking out. Protruding, I think that word is, I don't know. I heard it somewhere, but anyway, so I want to use a fancy word. But anyway, so it shows you right here that you can see that they have them little chimp lips here. And then here, of course, anyway, this one is still facing left. Okay, so I got asked a question about Corsica. So Lord willing, I'll make this video, trying to keep it short, even though I have all these things here. Okay, so I typed into this software. Now understand, this software doesn't think. Yeah, it will say nonsense too. I'll give you an example concerning that nonsense also. But what it does do is, it does what Google used to do. For example, if I type in this thing right here, right? Now, how many seconds did it cost to find, let me see, 8,620 results in 0, 30 seconds. So split seconds, I should say, something like that. Okay, but then I type in something of America, because that thing is in the Netherlands, so there's not a lot of information on that. Here you go. Something of America. Okay, you're gonna find, I don't even know what it is. What is it, 1 billion? Something like that? Right. Yeah, 1 billion, 40 million something, blah, 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 blah. In 0.32 seconds. So that's very fast, and there's very many. That's beyond a lot, right? I don't even know people that can count from 1 to a billion. It's possible, but you're gonna lose a lot of time. Anyway, so it's very fast, but what does this thing do? It finds websites, as you can see here. It shows you the sources where it got it from, and then here are the sources where it gathered the information from very fast. So the software is not smart. It finds stuff. And because I see other people using the software talking about, see, even AI know that the Hebrew Israelites are black. I'm looking at you like, really, man? That thing is a software. It's not like the movie, for example, Machina. Machina? Where, Ex Machina. Where, you know, you have, you start to feel empathetic, if I use that word correctly. You start to feel her pain, and you want her free too, because you're thinking these goddamn devils are experimenting on that girl, man. Now you think it's a girl, because it's a movie. If it was an actor, because it's an actor, she's role playing. You know, it's an actress. Sorry, I should say not actor, but it's an actress that is a human being. But you know how the human mind works. It can you can trick yourself into feeling whatever that word is, empathetic. If I'm correct, right? I know what it means. This one. Showing an ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And then you have here examples: sympathy, when you feel sorry for the person, oh, you feel bad for you. And empathy is when you feel sorry with. Something like that, right? Okay. Anyway, let me not talk too much. So the thing doesn't think. It finds things and then it tells you very it's very organized. You can do it very, very organized. I like that about it. Okay, but I'm not asking no damn questions. I asked it to find stuff for me, like what I'm already having in my head. Like I'm gonna show you an example of if you don't know what you're looking for, it could lead you to a stray, like a crazy other dimension. Like what? No, that ain't the truth. You should watch this movie called. I cannot spell this word. I can't. It looks like a German type of word actually, but yeah, I can't. Anyway, you need to watch. Not need to, but you should watch this movie. And they will show you what they're doing. The computer, they're showing you what the software, which people call AI. They're gonna show you what the software is actually. It's going to tell you what it is, not going back and forth with you and stuff like that. Wait, let me show you one thing before I actually start the video. Wait. Okay. Listen carefully what he's saying, okay? That's in this movie to be found. In this movie, it is to be found. Let me see here. That is wrong. The software will tell him that's wrong. Let me see.
Now, have any of you guys ever seen one of these bad things for real? We burned almost every physical book in the country. So by the time you guys grow up, there won't be one book left. Burn it.
What's wrong, Montag? Your vitals have been off recently.
Did firemen used to put out fires?
That's a classic lie.
Did firemen used to put out fires? That's a classic lie. Okay, check this out.
And what my question is leading to is help us
And by the way, sorry because the translations wasn't there.
understand where's the future of search going. Well,
where is the future of search going? I know you're not stupid, so sorry about me stopping the video the whole time. I'll put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself.
Use Google. Do you get more than one answer? Of course you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bug.
Yeah.
That's a bug. They want to tell you what the answer is and you need to shut up and believe that. That's the opposite of what it is right now concerning when you ask it, the software, a question. It gives you 11 sites and it gives you the links to the sites. Since I'm not going to click that because it might go away. I don't want it to go away. But you can figure it out for yourself, Lord willing. Well, if you know, if you have the time. So yeah.
Google. Do you get more than one answer? Of course you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bug.
Yeah.
We have more bugs per second in the world.
We have more bugs per second in the world, which is that thing that I just showed you. I'll get back to that later. I think it's here. No? Here. This is what he calls a bug. Results. That's what he calls a bug. More bugs per second than anything in the world or something like that.
We should be able to give you the right answer just once.
No, he wants to give you, this is what it is, and that's, shut up. That's what they're going toward, but they're trying to perfect that with the software because Google is a mistake to them. Because Google has all these things that it finds for you concerning the thing that you ask it. It's not going to tell you what is what, but that's where they're going toward. And this is a documentary from 13 years ago, but there's a longer documentary of it, and with better quality, of course, and it's on their own website themselves. I'll put the link in the description box so you could check that one out also if you want to. And it's like it's on YouTube too here. It's on here. It's like 45 minutes or something like that. But they have an actual website themselves, so I can link that for you too. But anyway, going back to over here.
And we have more bugs per second in the world. Because we should be able to give you the right answer just once. We should know what you meant. You should look for information. We should give it exactly right. And we should give it to you in your language. And we should never be wrong.
And we should never be wrong. Okay, take that. You here. Here. I think it was Reagan. Again, I think it was that guy.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
This guy's telling you what it is, and still people are stupid enough to basically still believe them. I'll put this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself also. Okay, this one too. Okay, let me go now here. Okay, so I'll start with the sardine. Right, so it says right here, it shows right here, well actually, what? It says right here. Now I typed in Sardinia flag. Why does it have 4 more black men heads, Moorheads? Question mark, comma, question, okay. The flag of Sardinia, known as, this word, the 4 Moors, features 4 black Moorish heads separated by a red St. George's cross on a white background. This one. Well, not this one, but this one actually. The most accepted origin, okay. The most accepted origin, which is Aragonese victory, right? The most common historical explanation is that the 4 heads commemorate a victory by the Kingdom of Aragon, which ruled Sardinia for centuries over Muslim forces in Spain, because the Moors were actually Muslim. Not all of them. Not all of them. But a big portion of them were actually Muslim. So they left the Heavenly Father Yahweh and then they turned to the Allah. Right? So it says here, the Battle of Alcaraz, 1096. According to the legend, King Peter I of Aragon defeated the 4 Moorish kings with the help of Saint George. Only an Israelite is a saint. It says it right here. So either he was an Israelite or he is an Edomite calling himself a saint. But wait, where is it again? No. Psalms 50 and what was it again? 5. Gather my saints together unto me, saith the Lord. Who are those? Those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And who did that? Genesis 17 and 8. 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee and to thy seed after thee. So what was that sacrifice? Which is a blood sacrifice. Listen. Wait, I'll get it here. Verse 10. This is my covenant, which ye will keep, between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. So, and it says here, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. So, this is the blood sacrifice that we have to do as men toward Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is not going to save you, by the way. I already talked about that, but I'll glance over it a little bit. I'll just glance over it here. It says here, Galatians 3:8 and scriptures, but we do it. That's another thing, but we do it because we have the faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, but that particular thing is not going to save you, as it is given here for an example and of a fact. And the scripture, foreseeing that Yahweh would justify the heathen through faith and not through the circumcision, preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all the nations be blessed. Sorry, in thee in thee shall all nations, I said the nations, in thee shall all nations be blessed, which is talking about the Israelites. But like I said, I did that in the other video. I'm just glance over it. So then they which be of the faith are blessed with faithful Abraham. Let me see here. Basically, no man is justified by the law. Dun, 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 dun. Verse 16, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Yahushua, Mashiach. Right, now go into Romans 4. And it starts here with 6, but I'll get to the point. Verse 10. How was it then reckoned? How is the blessing then reckoned? Was he in circumcision or in uncircumcision? Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision was he actually given the love of the Heavenly Father. He was uncircumcised. Later on, he circumcised himself. Verse 11. And when he received the sign of circumcision, now see, afterward he received the sign of circumcision in Genesis chapter 17. I just read it, right? A seal of the righteousness of the faith, which he had yet been uncircumcised. So Abraham was uncircumcised, but he had the faith. But he got it when he was uncircumcised, right? That he might be the father of all them that believe, though they be not circumcised. So that's us. Why? Because when a big portion of the people that I have seen, and I don't even know them, but I have seen them, all of them had to get circumcised because they wasn't circumcised from young on. Our parents didn't do that. So we were uncircumcised when we started to gather up faith, just like Abraham, and therefore this is also written that he is our example for coming in this truth. And afterward, he did get the sign of circumcision, and that's why we started to do it too. First and foremost, if you want to eat of the Passover, you need to be circumcised as a man in the first place anyway. But we do a blood sacrifice with the Lord, which is we bleed ourselves here, down there. And then when you lay with your woman, you do a blood covenant circumcision. Well, not circumcision, but a blood covenant with her also. A covenant means a contract. So you do a blood contract with her, you make her bleed, and then you bleed for the Lord. Basically, it's the same thing to a certain degree. Though they be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also, which is the exact example of what Abraham went through. We now go through because we came in this truth, right? Just like how he came in this truth, faith first, then came at the law, because none of us, not that I know of. Look, there might be guys that kept the law before, I don't know. I just go off of what I have seen. Basically, the people that came in this truth, they didn't know about Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua and stuff like that. We learned it. They didn't know about circumcision. Some of them were actually circumcised. I know a few, but they wasn't circumcised according to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. They were circumcised because Esau says it's hygienic and all these type of things. So off of that they came in, or their parents put them in off of that. And the father of circumcision to them who are not of the circumcision only, but who also walk in the steps of that faith of our father Abraham. See, you walk in the step of that faith of our forefather, which he had being yet uncircumcised. Anyway, so it says also here, for if they which are of the law be heirs, faith is made void, and the promise made of none effect. Yeah, because the promise was made. So if now only through circumcision you also gonna get the promise, then you would call the Lord a liar. He's not. You just misunderstood. I want to actually say you're a liar, but then I think of people that are colorblind. They see blue, but it might not be. Let's say it's green. He sees blue. Is he a liar? No, but he's wrong. So you have certain people that believe certain things of the scriptures. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make them a liar, but it makes them wrong, right? Verse 15, but the law worketh... Okay, no, I don't need to read the rest. Therefore, it is of faith that it might be by grace. Yahushua is that grace. He's the spirit of grace. So with him, we get that mercy. Hebrews chapter 10, 28 and 29 shows you that he is the spirit of grace. But I don't want to go up in this here too much. Basically, Psalms 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. That blood sacrifice. And the covenant is made between Abraham, Isaac, and his Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes, the sons. So that's that part. I'm going back over here. So anyway, let me focus on something else, because I went totally on something totally different. But yeah, we are the saints. The Israelites are the saints, no one else. With help of Saint George, who appeared on the battlefield. Then there comes another explanation for that, right? Now it says here, the most accepted origin, okay? These are the accepted ones, okay? Severed head as trophies, the full heads represent the severed heads of the defeated Moor rulers. This is the truth. This is the truth. And this is the truth, and basically the defeat of the 4 Moorish kings that were in Europe. And I'm going to show you that they know, especially the Dutch, by that picture that I just showed you here. I forgot where it was. Here. That one. They know exactly. This is how they mock us every year. Because they know exactly that we had the earrings and stuff like that. They know exactly, because when they mock us, they put the earrings. They recently are starting to do this. And do this right now. And they make the hair straight now, by the way. Recently. But back in the days, I remember this. Very good. They do it until this day. But in the city where you have more different, actually us, then they start to do this now. You know, they make it brown instead of black. They had it very black back in the days. Mockingly. And I did videos on this topic. In nearly every country in Europe has this. And Iran has it also. They have it also. This one. Then they dance around with the blackface thing and stuff like that. But, you know, it's like this is a poor man's version of mocking us. Because, you know, they don't even have dope clothing, better clothing and stuff like that. This one, they at least have better clothing. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, this one is just red. But it goes back to this thing, which is the organ player monkeys. And then you have them, you can see that these are the Iranian type of people. Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This, it comes from them. They did that. Then they had the Moorish head, and then they had the Israelite on a chain as a slave. And then you would do dancing and music and all these type of things for them, for the people. And you were their kept slave. The Iranian people, look at this motherfucker. He doesn't look Caucasus. It came from this region toward the Caucasus. Toward the Edomites of Europe. Sorry about that. Toward the Edomites of Europe and stuff like that. So now they started, and you can see that this is a very old drawing. So then, of course, you can clearly see that they modeled this drawing after a Edomite. You can clearly see it. And this one you can clearly see again is a type of Iranian type of person, Turkish type of Turkish or Amalekites that believe in Islam and stuff like that. But that's another case. But the point is, the Edomites were not known for having. Actually, they do, but still, this is not modeled after them. It's modeled after those people, a little bit more east of the world. But anyway. So they and by the way, until this day they have that's why you have until this day, not these Moors, this one. See, is the monkey hat, because we used the tap dance for them by force after we fell. We had them in slavery first, which is where they belong. But anyway, the things that they did in slavery to us, we didn't do that. Nobody did that. Lynching, castrating, burning, raping you women and stuff like that. People, that was not normal. But they're devils. That hatred that they have, right? So they wanted to exterminate us there. And Ezekiel, Ezekiel talks about that. Ezekiel 25:14, 12 actually, until 14. Thus saith Yahweh, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance. Vengeance for what? For the things that we did to them. We had them in captivity. But the things that they did in slavery, no one else did upon the planet. That shit is not real. The lynching, the castrating, the experimenting, the injecting, like Tuskegee syphilis experiments. I want to say more, but I can't. You know, that one is the one that they do admit themselves. So I'm allowed to say that before they flag my video talking about misinformation and stuff like that. So I'm not going to talk about the other injections that they did. But Dr. Marion Sims, he calls himself a doctor. But anyway, what did he do? He used to test on the so-called black women while they were alive. He killed them. They were dead after they was there. They were dead. After he was done, they were dead. But he did it to them alive. No, what is the word? Anesthesia or something like that. Basically, he doesn't soften the pain. They were screaming as shit. But it's all good, man. You know, hey. Obadiah chapter 1 is written for a reason. That's why the scriptures are a comforter. It comforts you like, oh, they're still gonna pay. Okay, cool. I ain't gotta worry. I ain't gotta go out there and do stupid stuff, get myself arrested and stuff. That's eventually gonna happen. And first and foremost, you're fighting against the Most High because He put them there for the punishment of ours. But they went overboard. They furthered the affliction. The Lord said He was but a little displeased, but they held forward the affliction. Zechariah 1:15, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. You what? For I was but a little displeased with the Israelites, and they held forward the affliction that I already gave them, but they wanted to further it. Like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, okay. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18 is written for you, Esau, and not for the other heathen nations, but only for you. You went overboard with it too much. They did too, but they got chin checked, and they kind of, you know, they kind of stopped to a certain degree. But Esau went further. He really wanted to do it. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the power, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and there of the Dan shall fall by the sword, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. The Israelites are going to do it. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh the power. You know, because they have that old hatred. But anyway. And then the Philistines too. But anyway, that's another story. Actually, let's say Yahweh because the Philistines. Yeah, they have hate too. But yeah, that's another story. But Esau has that hate. As you can see here, actually. Where is that one again? Because of the perpetual hatred that they have. That's that old hatred that Esau has. The Hamites have it too. But that's another story. Right. This is the Moorish head. Okay, let me go back to where I actually was supposed to be. Well, not supposed to. Where I wanted to be, I should say. But yeah, the Iranians have it too. Until this day, they celebrate. And then they mock us. Spain have it too because they have it here too. Here, this is Iran. Anyway, enough of this. So going back to here, the explanation. So it says, okay, the defeat of the 4 kings. That's what it is. Those are the severed heads of the 4 kings that used to rule over Sardinia. I think it's here. Yeah, here. Sardinia is here. Sorry, here. And you know who went there? Well, not there, but you know who went these places? He went to Malta and Sicilia, which is here. Paul in his travelings. He went other places too, but I'll do that in another video. But yeah, he went from here to Sidon, where Israelites were also, but it was actually the son of Canaan. Sidon is the first son of Canaan. But you had because we fled out of Israel, so we started to live all over the place. I mean, Paul was here in Cilicia. Now, Cilicia is not Sicilia. It looks similar. Cilicia and Sicilia look similar, but it's not. Anyway, he went to Lycia. Then he went to Crete. Kret is in the scriptures called captorem. And then here it's he went to Malta, and he also went to Sicily. Paul did, but I'll get to that later, and I'll get to the Crets later, that it is Captor, where the Hamites were. But you had Israelites here also. And if I'm correct, he went here too, but it's another picture that I have also, right? Let me stay on track. Where is it again? Here. Adopted as a seal. The first, the imagery first appeared in 1281 as a seal of the royal. This bullshit. This bullshit. This is the one of the bullshit ones. This is the one. Severed head as trophies. That's what it is. And they was trying to scare other Moors from not coming here anymore, well, in that land, to come and rule over them, because we had rulership over them there. And the Israelites were there too, which they murdered them. Well, they killed them. It's the times of war and stuff like that. Anyway, the Sardinians' interpretation. Alternative theories ties the heads more directly to the island's own history. Now, that is what it is, because they're full of shit. This one is the truth, right? Like I said, only Israelites are saints and no one else. It's impossible. It's not how it is created. Only Jacob descendants. If you are a descendant of Jacob, then you are a saint. Whether you be an evil saint or not, because you do have evil people among us. Among my people are found wicked men. Jeremiah 5:26. But let me go on. Sardinians' interpretation. Alternative theories tie the heads more directly to the island's own history. The four judicati. Some believe the four heads symbolize the four medieval independent kingdoms of Sardinia. You had another Taurus, which is, for example, there's three Tauruses. Wait, let me show you. You have Tarshish, which is Spain. Then you have Taros, and then you have Tarsus, which is where Cilicia is and stuff like that. You have those three that they claim it. But the Tarshish is Spain. But you have Taros also, which is Sardinia, where the Moors also were. But that's another story. Tarshish is Japhet, if you didn't know. Tarshish is Japhet. Here, the sons of Japhet is called Tarshish, and the other one is called Kittim, but it's also spelled Hittim, because that's what devils do. They change stuff. They just do it to fuck around. Ashur is Assyria, and Assyria is then therefore Ashur. But yeah, they just changed the meanings of things. Well, sorry, they changed words. And they also changed and meanings they changed too, by the way. But that is not what I wanted to say. They also changed this one. Oh, sorry. Here. So here you see T-A-R, shish. And here is T-H-R, shish. We'll just put the H there. Then you will get this one. This one, I don't even know how I spelled it before. But yeah, I clearly made a mistake. Spelling. I didn't even look good. Sorry about that. But anyway, the Navy of Tarshish, which are ships and stuff like that. But it's talking about the Japhetic people. But they were superior in shipbuilding and stuff like that. But it also means something else. It means like long traveling and stuff like that, you know. But in the other video, in 1 Kings chapter 22, if I'm correct, in that video, the chapter video, I explained it there. But anyway, let me go back to over here. So that's what they're talking about with the Taurus, because the entire Europe was the land of Japhet. Here you can see. So the Moors weren't even there in the first place. Later on they went there. Where is that again? Let me see. Oh yeah, here you can see Captorim, but that's another story. I didn't put it here. Wait. Damn it. You know what? sorry. You know what? I'll leave it at that because it's gonna be too long. Okay, let me just read on. You have this gal thing here, Taurus, But Japhet was. Well, I still have it. Sorry, man. Yeah, I still had to get it. Here it was Ham. Ham was down here. Now Ham had a son named damn. Ham. Sorry about that. Ham had a son named Cush, and then Cush went over here to Babylon, and then he started the kingdom of Babel. So you did have Cush, you know, going into the land of Shem and starting his thing there, and of course establishing a kingdom in Mesopotamia. And that kingdom, it's Judges 3. Oh boy. I'm not going to read everything. You can look it up for yourself if you have the time. Verse 8. Therefore the anger of Yahweh was kindled, was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan, which is Cush, Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served him 8 years. This is a Cushite. He was the king of Mesopotamia. This is way after, way after Nimrod, which is Nimrod. You can find then there for the mighty hunter, Nimrod. Well, that was a Cushite. Cush begat Nimrod, right? And then you have it, let me see here. Here. So Cush the mighty hunter. And the beginning of Cush, his kingdom, was Babel, Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. The land of Shinar is Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is Iran. Mesopotamia means land between the rivers. It's a Greek name. It's a Greek word. Here. It means the land between the rivers. That's what it means in full. But it's also named between rivers in Greek. It's a Greek word. It's not even an English word. But, you know, Sumer is all the same thing. It's that region over there. They just change names on purpose to confuse people. And Akkad, nowadays they spell it with 2 Ks. And if you type in here Akkadian Empire or Akkad Empire, it says here Akkadian Empire, then you can see it's the same region. It's Mesopotamia. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They just and Sumer. Sumer means it means black-headed people. So let me see here. Did I put it here? You can go to these Caucasus, their own website. You need to go to their own website. Then you can find it. Sumer was the southern counterpart to the northern region of Akkad, which is the Akkadian Empire set up by Cush, whose people gave Sumer its name, meaning land of the civilized kings, right? Sumer, okay. The Sumerians themselves referred to their region simply as the land or the land of the black-headed people. So they called themselves that. But just like with here, what did the Phoenicians call themselves? They refer to themselves as Canaanites. That's what it is. The Caucasus named them Phoenicians in order to separate them from the Hamites, because Canaan is a son of Ham, and they wanted to screw with history. And that's what they've been doing for centuries, more than 2,800 years ago. Since the Greek Empire started, evils multiplied and they started lying there. They're calculated with their lies too. It helped them down the years to 2,800 years later, in which we are in now. It's still helping them because everybody's confused as to what the Phoenicians are. Here, you're gonna see a bunch of Arabs. But it's funny because, you know, here, this is what they show them to be. But these are not the sons of Ham. Canaan is the son of Ham. They're lying to you. Genesis chapter 10 verse 15. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, which are the Hittites. But anyway, they're lying to you. That's what they do. Here, then they come up with bullshit articles like this. You may not be a Phoenician, but you might still like the language and stuff like that. But there's another one. Actually, they use this exactly the same picture, so this one isn't. Here, this one I made a video about this. Most Phoenicians did not come from the land of Canaan. This is totally bullshit. That doesn't make no sense. But I do explain that they're lying. Their snake tongue lies is what they. I'm gonna give you an example. The Australians are not Australians, but they are Australians. Did you get that? It means the people, the Caucasus people that came to Australia, they are not Australians. But the people in Australia, they are Australians. But actually, they are not also, because they didn't call themselves Australians. I hope I didn't confuse you there. But I'm going to try and make it better. Here, Japanese. What do they call themselves? They call themselves Nihonjin. Or Nihon. Basically Nihon people. That's what they say. That's not a word. That's not a word. They don't call themselves Japanese, but that makes no fucking sense. They call themselves Nihon, and the English version of that is, I think, Nippon, something like that. Watashi. That's me or something like that, right? Anyway, the point is they didn't call themselves that. The so-called Native Americans did not call themselves Native Americans. The so-called East Indians did not call themselves East Indians. Okay? The Africans, the so-called Africans, did not call themselves Africans. They changed stuff. But anyway, I'm still going to other places. Wait, man. Anyway, so these places, right? Okay, the Sardinian interpretations. Okay, let me focus.